Hey family, welcome back to the channel where faith comes alive and hope gets reignited. Today's message is one you can't afford to miss, especially if you've ever felt like hope was lost or your dreams had died. Because the title of today's sermon is Hope is Alive Because Jesus Lives, John 11:25. And I've got good news for you. If Jesus is alive, then hope is never dead. Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die." Let's be real. We all face moments where hope feels lost. Maybe it's a relationship that crumbled, a diagnosis that broke your spirit, a dream that seems buried. In John 11, Martha had just lost her brother Lazarus. She believed in Jesus, but it seemed like he was too late. And maybe that's where you are, wondering, God, where were you when everything fell apart? But Jesus didn't come to give comfort only. He came to raise the dead. And he looked at Martha and said, "I am the resurrection and the life. Not I was, not I will be, but I am, right now." Family, listen. Hope is not an idea. It's not a motivational quote. Hope is a person, and his name is Jesus. The resurrection of Christ means dead things can live again, buried promises can rise, lost people can be found. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave is alive in you. Romans 8:11 says, "If the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, he will also give life to your mortal bodies." So if Jesus lives, hope is alive. And as long as he's on the throne, you're not done yet. Let's talk about your life. What have you given up on? That business idea? That child who walked away from God? That inner healing from trauma or heartbreak? Jesus is speaking today what he spoke at Lazarus' tomb. Come forth. He's calling dead hope to rise. He's calling you back to life. You may feel stuck in the grave of despair, but resurrection power is knocking at your heart. It's time to roll the stone away and believe again. Here's how to activate the living hope of Christ every day. 1. Believe in who he is, not just what he does. Martha believed Jesus could heal, but she didn't fully believe he was the resurrection. Hope comes when you trust Jesus as your life, not just as a solution. 2. Speak life over dead places. Your words matter. Stop saying, "It's over." Start saying, "God's not done." Proverbs 18:21, "Life and death are in the power of the tongue." 3. Stay close to the resurrection himself. When you stay near Jesus through prayer, worship, and the word, hope begins to breathe again. Jesus said in John 14:19, "Because I live, you also will live." That's not just for eternity. That's for today. Father, thank you that because Jesus lives, hope is alive. I lift up every person watching who's been grieving, weary, or feeling lost. Speak come forth into their situation. Breathe life into what they thought was over. Let resurrection power touch every heart, every dream, every purpose. We declare, hope is rising, Jesus is alive, and we walk in that victory today. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. If this message stirred your soul, hit like to declare, hope is alive in me. Tap subscribe to stay connected to the word and keep your hope burning. And share this with someone who needs a resurrection of hope. Because if Jesus lives, then your story isn't over.